This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Home abandoned. Repeated flooding and sewage overflows force a Windsor woman to move. Waterlogged. Eskazoni recovers after torrential rain causes widespread flooding and road damage. And record catch. A 13-year-old angler reels in a 711-pound tuna at the Wedgeport Tuna Tournament.
We saw scattered showers and even some strong thunderstorms this afternoon. Things will settle out and the humidity will come down. I'll explain all the details coming up.
Good evening. After years of dealing with persistent flooding and sewage backup, one Windsor resident says she's been left with no choice but to walk away, abandoning her home. The municipality is working to resolve the issue, but as Selena Alders reports, it's not a quick fix and will cost millions of dollars.
House is empty, the boxes are packed. After 5 years of dealing with repeated flooding and sewage overflows, Amanda Dunfield is abandoning her home.
It's scary in this economy, it really truly is, but it's also not sustainable to continue living here.
During heavy rains, brown-colored water tainted with raw sewage spews into the streets of downtown Windsor. This footage showing a more extreme example from 2024.
It's not uncommon for us to find materials like toilet paper, shredded, all sort of ground into our grass and driveways after events, sanitary products, contraceptive products.
The problem stems from the town's combined sewer and stormwater system. The aging infrastructure is overburdened. Experts say the pipes need to be separated and water needs to be diverted away from the downtown core. That could cost up to $142 million. West Hants Mayor Abraham Zabian says the fix can't happen overnight and will require funding from all levels of government.
It's a multi-year approach and it's a very costly approach, but it's what needs to get done. It's unfortunate that any resident wants to leave a community. We never want to see that to be the case.
The project is a municipal responsibility, but even the federal government is aware of the issue and is anticipating asks for financial support.
When there's municipal issues or municipal infrastructure needs, I always try to be a champion for the needs of our community, to try to work with the province, work with the various federal departments on where we can find the funding.
But with no real end in sight, Dunfield is no longer willing to ride out the next storm. She's officially left town, leaving behind an empty house still in her name, but ready for a fresh start.
I'm feeling very optimistic that we can pick up some of where we left off, where we're not being held hostage by the weather, hostage by the inaction, hostage by the finances of dealing with cleanups, evacuations, all this. We're kind of excited, scared, but excited.
Selena Alders, CBC News, Halifax.
And heavy rain caused havoc in parts of Cape Breton overnight. Eskazoni First Nation was the hardest hit. Businesses and basements flooded and some roads and driveways washed out. The CBC's Kyle Moore has more.
Signs warning of floodwaters welcomed you when arriving in Eskazoni on Monday. Overnight, the community received more than 140 millimeters of rain, much of the water rushing down from the mountain.
My sister called me and said that she thought her side of the house was flooding because of the alarms, and when I went in, there was about 3 to 4 inches of water that was piling up inside.
Sunday's creation, having a little bit of a crisis. Anyone can help.
Calls for help were answered at this business. Merchandise was saved, but there was water damage to the floors and walls.
We're going to have to get some people in to take a look at it, but I'm sure we're going to have to re-gut the floor and do everything that we need to do over there. But because we found out about it very quickly, we were able to save majority of the inventory.
And I'm here 20 years now. Yeah, this is the worst I've ever seen.
The river next to Kevin McNeil's trailer overflowed its bank, almost taking his RV with it.
I was scared I was going to lose it with the water. And I was lucky I didn't. I don't understand why it didn't go, but it's still there, thank God.
The river was rising quickly and there's homes down below, so we're very lucky that we were able to we're lucky that it stopped raining.
Chief Leroy Denny says his team was busy cleaning up debris today and assessing the damage.
A lot of flooded basements and roof leaks, really. So we had around 20 calls of roof leaks and over 25 calls for basements. And we're still getting calls now this morning.
Chief Leroy Denny says there were no injuries reported here last night as a result of the flooding, but he says it will be a while before all damage is assessed and cleaned up. Kyle Moore, CBC News, Eskasoni.
And Tina is in for Ryan tonight with first look at the weather. And boy, that rain caused quite a mess.
Absolutely. And I was just looking at some of the rainfall totals, pulling them from the Cape Breton Mesonet as well as the Coco Ross volunteer spotters, I should say. And some of those rainfall amounts came in anywhere from 130 to 150 millimeters of rain. And we still have rain in the forecast. And the problem with the rain is if it's gentle and we get it over time, it's okay. But these scattered showers and the thunderstorms that we have been seeing are capable of putting down a lot of rain in localized areas. And that's where we continue to see that threat for this evening. We've got some scattered showers and thunder showers that continue. They're all pushing off towards the east, but they are capable of putting down not only some lightning, but also those heavy amounts of rain. So we'll keep the rain showers in the forecast and even that threat of thunderstorms for this evening and into the early morning hours for the eastern mainland, right on through to Cape Breton, keeping those chances for thunderstorms in the forecast. But we should start clearing out at least temporary tomorrow. We do have more rain chances in the forecast, but not as widespread as what we have been seeing, and the humidity is coming down. I'll explain more coming up.
All right, thanks, Tina. We'll talk soon. Premier Tim Houston says he stands with Prime Minister Mark Carney in pursuing fair trade for Canada. Talks broke off between the U.S. and Canada on Friday, leading to the U.S. imposing 50% tariffs on a range of Canadian goods.
This is a difficult situation. It's unanimous, the support for the Prime Minister and for the federal government on this, and unanimous that, look, when the line got moved too far, it just wasn't palatable anymore. It was time to walk away. So that's a good thing. We're all on the same page there. But, you know, the reality that what I tried to inject in the conversation is that that might feel good in the moment. The old stick it to them, let's fight, fight, fight. That feels great in the moment. But we have to live with tomorrow and the next day and the day after. And this will have a massive, massive impact on a number of Canadians and Nova Scotians who probably don't realize it yet.
Houston is once again urging other provinces to remove the interprovincial trade barriers for domestic development. He and other Eastern premiers also say choosing Canadian-made products can help protect local businesses, workers, and regional economies from the impact of the tariffs. Meanwhile, the Halifax Chamber of Commerce says the latest tariffs will impact local businesses in a number of ways.
Our businesses have been dealing with unpredictability for the last 18 months. This just adds to that. And in times like this, when businesses don't have predictability, they're faced with decisions of hiring and with investment, and they're not going to do that at the same rate that they may otherwise do.
McCaskill says the tariffs affect about 1,800 Nova Scotia jobs, but despite the uncertainty, he says Nova Scotia businesses have been resilient. An island off the coast of Cape Breton could be yours, but it comes with a big price tag. The CBC's Ethan Hunt recently toured the property to find out more.
This remote island in Nova Scotia is up for sale. Henry Island is almost 90 hectares and comes with a 4-bedroom home as well as a fully functioning lighthouse. The Cape Breton property is listed for $6.9 million. Its current owner says this place is special.
Every day of my life, I'm thinking about Henry Island.
It takes about 20 minutes by boat to get to Henry Island from Port Hood. Then comes the ride on a 4-wheeler up the hill from the beach to the house, where you'll find William Baker and his wife relaxing in the silence. They've owned the property for the last 35 years, but now at 84 years old, Baker says it's time to part ways with their favorite vacation spot.
I know you're going to be shocked when you find out that I'm an old man, but I am. And we were hoping our family would continue the tradition of maintaining this lighthouse, but they're spread all over the world, so we've decided that possibly we'll sell it.
The Bakers have used Henry Island as a summer getaway from their home in New York. Baker carved out an acclaimed career in broadcasting. As the president of the PBS flagship station in New York City, he says it was a colleague who told him he could afford his own island and lighthouse in Nova Scotia.
I always wanted to be part of the lighthouse world. Lighthouses are pretty special. They represent the very best of humanity, really. Selfless, helping others with no payment in return. That's what a lighthouse stands for, and that's what a lighthouse has meant over the centuries. Being part of all that, it's virtually religious.
For the first time I saw the full Milky Way, it was exotic. It was beautiful.
Baker says the property has come a long way. The lighthouse was built in 1901, and both it and the house needed a lot of repairs.
So we'd come every year and spend 2 or 3 weeks repairing and fixing and painting and all. So that was, but it was such a powerful distraction. It took my mind off of all my work in New York City and pressure of the film and TV business.
Through the help of neighbors, the island turned into their home away from home. People like Donald McDonald and his wife helped with the renovations. The fisherman has taken them by boat to Henry Island when they visit.
So we're over here a lot on an island, but we enjoyed it. It's kind of a labor of love, and it doesn't matter what the job is. It's just it's a nice place to be. It's quiet.
The island has been on the market for the last 2 years. Realtor Angie Bryant says there's been interest from people all over the world, including the U.S. and as far as Germany.
It's actually become quite popular that to see islands selling. There's a couple of islands that have sold off the coast of Mahone Bay just recently over the course of the last year.
But Baker isn't in a rush to sell.
Henry Island Lighthouse, over. Luckily, we're all pretty healthy here and there's no urgency. And that's what I'd like to do. I would like to make decisions about this property while my head is still more or less clear, and we can make the right decision for this place.
He says he'll keep waiting for the right buyer, someone who wants to preserve this little slice of heaven. Ethan Hunt, CBC News, Henry Island.
A Nova Scotian is in training camp with the NFL's Los Angeles Chargers.
Los Angeles Chargers select Logan Taylor, guard, Boston College.
Logan Taylor from Lunenburg was selected in the 6th round of this year's draft. Very few Nova Scotians have ever been picked in the draft. Taylor has lived away from home for the past decade, including in places like Virginia and Massachusetts, to achieve his dream. He hopes to be a resource for aspiring young players, and he has some advice for them.
Put in the hard work. I mean, there's the days that you're like, oh, I don't really want to. Those are the days someone else is. So just have that mindset of, yeah, if you're not going to do it, well, someone else will, and someone's always coming for your job. So just attack every single day like someone's going to come and take your job every day.
Taylor says he hopes to make the Chargers' final cut. A 13-year-old girl just smashed the junior female world record by nearly 100 pounds when she reeled in a 711-pound tuna recently. Ben Dornan reports.
I caught this fish for the Wedgeport Tuna Tournament, but also I might have, it's not for sure yet, gotten the IGFA Youth Women's World Record for the biggest tuna.
What the 13-year-old is sure of is that the hour spent reeling in the 711-pound fish was exhausting.
It's a lot of work. Sometimes you gotta take your left hand and grab the line and twist it and pull it. And then once you see the tip of the rod start coming closer to you, that's when you start twisting the line and pulling it in.
Jacquard's fish is nearly 100 pounds heavier than the tuna that set the Youth Women's World Record back in 2014. It was caught by Nova Scotian Jenna Gavin in Ballantyne's Cove. Jacquard made the catch aboard the pelagic predator, captained by her father Camille Jacquard. He's been taking part in the tournament for 2 decades, but this was Delane's first time competing.
I was just thinking about what would happen if I did reel in that tuna. And I'm just amazed with myself. And I was just going to be so proud of myself when I did it and that I did it.
Jacquard wasn't the only record breaker this year. Aboard the Lucas and Noah, Captain Brent Potier caught an 801-pound bluefin to mark the biggest tuna in the tournament's history. Ben Dornan, CBC News, Halifax.
Yep, bit of fog out there tonight. Tina will be back with the full weather forecast in just a few minutes. And Tina's back with a look at the full forecast. And with all of this rain, the humidity, it's very soupy.
Absolutely. You know, we could say officially it's a tropical air mass.
It feels very tropical, doesn't it?
And it really is. And I'll give you the evidence, and you can just hold on to that statement and know that it's actually true. It's not just a statement. It's actually true. Our temperatures right now across the region, we had a lot of cloud cover. We had some rain. We still have rain, and we still have some thunderstorms. But I want to show you some of the temperatures. Even along areas of the coast where we would expect the temperatures with a southerly wind to be in the upper teens to mid-teens, we're still seeing those temperatures in the upper teens and lower 20s. So it is definitely a warmer air mass. And we did actually have some peaks of sunshine across northern Nova Scotia. Things are changing now as some scattered showers and even some thunderstorms continue to develop. But here's the proof. Whenever you see those dew point temperatures in the lower 20s, which is a good measure of how much humidity is out there, how much air, or how much moisture, I should say, is out there. Whenever it's in the lower 20s like that, we can consider it officially oppressive. It is very humid out there. A tropical air mass is where this air actually originated. So we have some watches and now we have some warnings with the scattered showers and the thunderstorms that are out there. So the areas in red are where these thunderstorms are tracking. They're coming in and they're pushing off towards the north and to the east. So Environment Canada has issued a severe thunderstorm watch and now a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of the Annapolis Valley and clipping into northern Nova Scotia. Here's a look at the radar, and you can see it's been very, very active over the past 3 hours. We've seen these scattered showers really blossom up into these thunderstorms, and these thunderstorms, like we've been seeing over the last couple of days, are really capable of putting down a lot of rain in localized areas. And right now it's affecting, say, from Middleton to Kentville through Parsbro up towards Amherst, and they're all moving off towards the north and to the east. So you happen to be underneath one of these thunderstorms, you are experiencing some very heavy rains. Not so much the wind, it's the rain and the lightning that are the main threat with these scattered showers and thunderstorms. Where we saw all the rain over the last 24 hours, well, through the weekend, I should say, through the Bedore Lake, some of the rainfall totals were over 150 millimeters, were areas of the Annapolis Valley until now, and these thunderstorms have been relatively dry. So we are getting some dry periods right now, but you can see there's more moisture off the coast. So scattered showers and thunderstorms are going to stay in the forecast. Not for everyone. There's lots of dry areas, but that's the nature of this system and how it's pushing its way through. So for tonight, the temperatures are going to stay very mild in the upper teens to lower 20s. The winds are going to be more southerly, 20 gusting up to 40 kilometers per hour. And as long as the system is in play and this air mass is overhead, it's very unstable. It does produce those scattered showers and thunderstorms. But tomorrow we should start to see some clearing mid-afternoon. Not so much the case for the eastern mainland through to Cape Breton, where the clouds are going to stay thicker for the better part of the day, but you'll get some clearing into the afternoon. It's going to start off with lots of fog and some low-level clouds early tomorrow morning. Then there should be some clearing. Some sunshine is expected tomorrow, but there are chances for showers again tomorrow afternoon, and slight chances for showers as we go through the day on Wednesday as well. So we're not done with just the rain, but I don't think it's going to be when these showers do form Tuesday into Wednesday. They're not going to be able to put down the rain that we're seeing out there right now. So I guess that's some good news. So for tomorrow, scattered showers in the morning, possibly some thunderstorms as well, and then a chance for a shower tomorrow afternoon with the temperatures hovering into the mid-20s. Fog patches tomorrow morning, some scattered showers in the morning, and then again developing showers in the afternoon mixed with some sunshine in the middle. And same is true for the South Shore through Yarmouth, temperatures holding at around 21 to 24 degrees. And again, we're still talking about those chances for showers in the morning with some fog patches, and then again, a chance in the afternoon. And the same is true, but more likely see a shower Wednesday afternoon than what we'll see Wednesday morning. And the chances for showers really going down, courtesy of an area of high pressure that's going to start to build on Thursday, and it's going to clear out our skies. And notice something else. The dew point temperatures will be coming down, and the overnight lows will be dropping, not into the mid to upper teens, but into the lower teens for overnight lows. This is a lot more comfortable as we head into the weekend. Now, mind you, it's going to start to go back up as we head into the weekend, but at least we'll get a break midweek from the humidity. Not so much the heat during the middle of the day, but certainly through the overnight hours, we'll notice it.
Yes, better sleeping for sure. All right, thanks, Tina.
You're welcome.
The balsam fir is turning red and dying across the region following last year's drought. Now, researchers are warning that these shallow-rooted evergreen trees are a sign for the accelerating impacts of climate change in eastern Canada. The CBC's Danielle McCready reports.
See this tree? It's supposed to be green, like all the other trees around it. But after last summer's record-breaking drought in New Brunswick, more like it are popping up around the province, on the sides of roads, in forests, and on woodlots, like this one.
Well, what you're seeing are a number of dead balsam fir trees that have just have died more recently. And these ones here have been harvested, now they're laying on the ground. And this is very likely a direct result of the drought that we experienced last year in 2025.
Anthony Taylor has been researching climate change's impact on New Brunswick trees and forests for years. He predicted something like this could happen following extremely hot, dry summers. That's because it's happened before, in 1986, in 2018, all following extremely hot, dry summers.
Balsam fir is sensitive to warm, dry conditions and will shut off photosynthesis like fairly early. You know, it responds very rapidly to that. And so when it stops growing, like when photosynthesis shuts down, it's no longer producing like the energy stores that it would need to carry on basic processes, metabolic processes, producing defense compounds and that sort of thing. So we think that disadvantage many of these fir to potential other things that may also be bothering the fir, like whether it be pathogens or insects in the ecosystem.
The balsam firs on Peter McKeel's woodlot have slowly been turning red since June. He says he's lost over 100 trees by now.
I'm lucky I have a sawmill, so I could actually make use of some of the timber that was produced. But it's still a little bit discouraging because some of them, they looked healthy when I was through here earlier in the spring.
And he doesn't plan on planting any new ones if this is to be the new norm.
When I'm into the woods to harvest for an order, the fir is the first that I'll harvest.
You want to get rid of it?
Well, I want to get the value out of it before it's gone.
Taylor says seeing the red trees this year is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it supports his research, but it also shows the negative impact a changing climate is having on New Brunswick's provincial tree. And McKeel agrees.
Well, with climate change, the fir here are doomed. I've watched it progress over the last 15 years or so.
Coming up, lithium-ion batteries keep catching fire in Nova Scotia. We speak to an expert about what you need to know to protect yourself. The Nova Scotia government says fires caused by lithium-ion batteries are on the rise. Those are the types of batteries you find in everything from cars, phones, drones, and e-bikes. And for more on this, we're joined by Andy Wenzel, Acting Assistant Fire Marshal. So why do you think you're seeing these kinds of spikes?
I think the majority of the spikes are caused by rough use of the batteries, ill use, like taking them apart or charging them in places that they shouldn't be charged.
And how big a spike are you seeing?
In some cases, 7, 8 calls a day in some cities or some areas.
And all over the province?
All over the province. The more concentrated areas, like the big cities like Halifax, Sydney, or Truro, are getting more of a spike than the rest of the province, but considerable.
And how does a fire involving these kinds of batteries differ from other fires?
These fires start off with smoke, heat, as in every normal fire does. And then what happens is they go into what's called thermal runaway. And a thermal runaway is basically creating its own fire and own oxygen, and it can create projectiles that can go up to 45 feet away and cause fires in other areas as well.
So not just maybe starting these fires, but being involved in a fire, how big a concern is that generally?
Normally, fires that start in a home are created, they cause a lot of smoke, a lot of carbon monoxide, and other gases as well. But thermal runaway in a lithium-ion battery, they will cause two other gases to come in, that are very toxic to humans, and they create sort of an acid, and it's very, very toxic to humans.
And what sorts of devices are you seeing that is there one in general that's most problematic?
No, cell phones, laptops, e-bikes, e-scooters are our biggest concerns. One of the things that we'd like to point out to the general public is make sure that you're using the cord that came with the charger, the cord that came with the e-bike, the cord that came with the material. Make sure you're using the manufacturer's suggested instructions for charging, okay? Make sure you charge them according to what the manufacturers state. Place them on a dry, level, flat surface out of the sun. If they're under 0 degrees Celsius or over 40 degrees Celsius, do not charge them. They can be dangerous.
Now, are e-bikes and e-scooters safe to be in the house?
They are. We suggest that they be charged outside of the home, maybe in a garage, attached garage or separate garage, just for that purpose. Never, never, never store them in an access to egress or an exit getting out of your house or apartment building. Make sure that they're nowhere near children or anywhere that they can be dropped or tipped over and cause damage to the batteries.
Are you expecting these increases to keep going up given the popularity of these kind of batteries?
Yes, for sure. The batteries, as they become more popular, the little batteries can store major amounts of energy. So from there, they can actually cause bigger fires because they're being more readily available.
Do you think safety standards, building codes, that sort of thing are keeping up with the times?
No, the building codes, fire codes are not keeping up with the regulation or the batteries that are coming out. We'd like to see in the future some more regulations coming from the use and storage of e-batteries, but we're hopeful that we can help by giving the public in Nova Scotia some little tips and tricks.
Now, firefighters in this province have been calling for a national plan on the issue. Is that something that you could get behind, and why?
Yes, for sure. Province of Nova Scotia, Office of Fire Marshal is standing behind firefighters across Canada, Canadian Association of Fire Chiefs, on the initiative to gain more momentum in creating more rules and regulations around these e-bikes, e-scooters, charging, battery use, storage, and discharging of the batteries, especially around recycling and disposing of batteries.
So your last piece of advice for consumers out there?
Last piece of advice, please check your smoke alarms, ensure that they are safe to use within 10 years old, create a fire plan for your family, and by these two methods, your family should be safe.
Okay, well, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Coming up, Donald Trump is ramping up his trade war on Canada, vowing even more intense tariffs targeting steel and autos. And Canada's business community looks at the options with one of their biggest markets now out of reach. Welcome back. U.S. President Donald Trump is making new threats against Canada following Mark Carney's decision to walk away from trade talks between the two countries. As the CBC's Kate McKenna tells us, the political fight is now getting personal.
The trade war between Canada and the U.S. is once again heating up.
It's not a surprise for us that the U.S. would take some form of reprisal to our response to their unjustified tariff.
On Monday, President Donald Trump upped the ante again, threatening to raise auto tariffs from 25%, saying on January 1st, 2027, tariffs on all cars, trucks, both large and small, automotive parts and steel will be increased to 50%. We don't need Canada, they need us. Another shockwave for the already struggling auto sector.
We're seeing production across North America come down. Exports are falling. We needed to get to some sort of a solution.
Ontario's premier declared war, saying Canada needs to be ready to punch back with everything it's got, including withholding energy exports. He threw in some quotable insults aimed at the president.
And I have a lot of real estate on my ass, so he has a lot of room to kiss my ass.
But midway through Doug Ford's afternoon news conference, Donald Trump posted about him, saying lots of bluster from Doug Ford, who is the premier of the Canadian province of Ontario, but who is better known as the less charismatic, intelligent, and overall unimpressive brother of the late, great Rob Ford. He called the Prime Minister Governor Carney and said someone should get these clowns to fall in line or the consequences for Canada will be far worse.
I've been in this game a lot longer than he has. I got skin on me like an alligator. And you think an insult from him hurts me? Well, bring it on, buddy. I'm ready.
But with fresh 50% tariffs, looming Canadian retaliation, and Trump's latest threat, the road ahead could be long. Carney says he's willing to go back to the table under the right circumstances.
Look, when the Americans go to the negotiation table first with the right attitude towards our industries and a true partnership, of course we'll come to the negotiating table.
Canada hasn't announced the details of its retaliation package, but the Prime Minister says it's set to take effect on September 8th. Kate McKenna, CBC News, Ottawa.
Canadian business owners are bracing for the full impact of the American tariffs that came into effect this past weekend. Jennifer Yoon has details on where the pain will be felt most and how some companies hope to survive.
Our non-alcoholic beers shipped to the United States, as well as our beers and our canned cocktails.
After 10 years building a U.S. market, American exports make up about a fifth of this Canadian craft brewery's business. But that decade of work now hangs in the balance after Donald Trump slapped new tariffs on most of their products.
It's challenging. We have plans to produce it here and sell it down there, and we want to continue with those plans, and 50% tariffs just will not make that possible.
Billions of dollars worth of Canadian goods now facing 50% tariffs. More than 500 items ranging from electronics, dairy products, hockey gear, and some clothes. Like this blazer, this Toronto entrepreneur can no longer afford to sell in the U.S.
Eating the tariffs and eating that cost is not sustainable financially for us. We just can't do it.
Others in the textile industry facing catastrophe.
One of our members has mentioned that they're going to close completely in very short order. Another one of our members has spoken about laying off almost everybody.
Economists are worried about a trickle-down effect as hard-hit businesses slow their exports and potentially put more jobs at risk.
If we're shipping fewer goods to the U.S., we'll need fewer trucks and therefore fewer truck drivers, but less obviously are in suppliers like food manufacturers, plastic manufacturing, professional services. Think about bookkeeping and accounting services.
We think we're stubborn and resilient.
It won't be easy, but this brewery owner isn't giving up. He's promoting drinks that aren't being tariffed and considering manufacturing in the U.S., all the while asking Canadians to help.
We need to stand up to a bully, but we need to stand together and buy together and use our own purchasing power.
He says it's a wake-up call. For many businesses, survival depends on Canadians buying local. Jennifer Yoon, CBC News, Hamilton, Ontario.
Canadians across the country have been reacting to the Prime Minister's decision to end trade talks with the U.S. Caroline Bargout brings us some of that.
At the Pacific National Exhibition, NFL fans swarm to one of America's most prized trophies. But when it comes to the U.S. trade war, they seem to be Team Canada all the way, standing behind the Prime Minister's decision to break off talks.
Well, I think it's about time that we stood up for our rights, and someone needs to stand up to Trump, so I think it's great.
I think you did it right. I think it's going to be very hard at the beginning, but you got to do it, right? You can't just bend over and take all the pressure from tariffs and everything nonstop. Eventually you have to fight back.
An Angus Reid online survey taken this weekend suggests 76% of Canadians agree It polled nearly 1,500 people scattered among all 343 federal ridings. The margin of error given is plus or minus 2 percentage points.
Canadians have been telling us for more than a year that they think that Canada should be taking a hard line and a tough approach in terms of the talks. Well, now you've got 3/4 of Canadians who say that the Carney government was right to walk away from trade talks.
Other recent polling suggests Canadians no longer trust the U.S.
The majority of Canadians at least have decided that deeper integration with the United States, continuing to be reliant on them, is not going to do Canada well in the long term. And so maybe we need to take some pain in the short term.
But that pain can also travel south as Canadians try to ditch America and its products.
Buy local, stop traveling to the U.S. Absolutely. I haven't traveled.
We haven't put money into our country. We haven't put money into our military. We haven't been taking care of our own people. We've been more worried about what the Americans do.
For now, most Canadians seem to back Canada's tough stance, but the complete toll of the new tariffs is still to come, further testing that resolve. Caroline Bargout, CBC News, Vancouver.
We're learning new details about another sore spot this summer between Canada and the U.S., the delayed opening of the Gordie Howe Bridge. CBC News has obtained details of a private meeting between the bridge's competitor and Canadian government officials. Colin Butler has that story.
For nearly a century, if you wanted to drive a truck across the Detroit River, there really only was one bridge, the Ambassador Bridge, and it was tolled in both directions. And since they took over in 1979, that has helped make its American owners, the Maroon family, billionaires. Then Canada built another one, and its tolls were substantially lower. The Gordie Howe Bridge is bigger, 6 lanes, and state-of-the-art with highway-to-highway connection. The U.S. government estimated it could take a huge chunk of the Ambassador Bridge's truck traffic, which is why the Maroons have been fighting the opening for decades. In April, Matthew Maroon sought out a meeting with Ottawa. Obtained through an access to information request by CBC News, government documents show Canadian officials did meet with him as an opportunity to listen and better understand his perspective on the corridor. What we don't know is what Maroon asked Canadian officials for. Significant portions of the government's records of the meeting are blacked out. 11 days after that meeting, the Ambassador Bridge announced dramatic toll cuts for commercial and passenger vehicles. The fight, it seems, moving from delaying the bridge to competing with it. Experts call it an unusual situation, a privately owned international bridge now competing side by side with a public one. So when the private owner of a competing bridge sits down with government officials, what they talk about matters. And right now, most of the conversation about Canada's most valuable trade corridor is hidden under black ink. Colin Butler, CBC News, London, Ontario.
After nearly 6 months since hostilities first began, the U.S. is taking a new tack in its war with Iran. It's now hoping economic muscle might force the country's hand. Journalist Nick Harper reports.
U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said Operation Economic Outcast is about creating the conditions to further isolate Iran economically. It's a change in tactics, the U.S. shifting from military attacks to financial pressure.
This is a sustained campaign to collapse every last option for Iran. Let there be no ambiguity as to the position of the United States. An economic engagement of any kind with this murderous regime will expose those responsible to the full reach of American power.
Bessent also said the US would target over 60 entities, individuals and vessels that enable Iran's nuclear and missile industries, conduct cyber operations or buy Iranian oil. But when it came to calling out specific countries, he refused to name names, instead saying President Donald Trump was speaking to world leaders to ask them to cease trade with Iran. China remains Iran's main trading partner. He was asked if the US would penalize Beijing.
We want to make clear here today that no one is above the reach of U.S. sanctions. That if they facilitate transactions and are part of the ecosystem that turns Iranian oil into money, into repression, they will be targeted.
Trump meets Chinese President Xi Jinping at the White House next month. These potential sanctions could create more friction in US-China relations. Russia, India and Turkey also trade with Iran. The UAE now says it's ending trade relations. But the latest announcement amounts to little more than just additional threats. There are no specific sanctions against specific countries with concrete timelines. Again, the Trump administration is hoping threats will pressure Iran into a deal and the ending of attacks on commercial shipping. Iran, though, has said the latest US efforts will have the opposite effect, meaning a US-Iran deal remains as elusive as ever. Nick Harper for CBC News, Washington.
Britain's new prime minister says his government will share classified weapons blueprints with Kyiv so Ukraine can build its own long-range missiles for use in the war with Russia.
Vladimir has now asked that we share our Storm Shadow technology so that Ukraine can build these capabilities themselves. I am pleased to confirm today that I have approved that request, that we will now work with Ukraine to take this capability forward.
Andy Burnham was in Kyiv for a meeting of the Coalition of the Willing, mostly European backers of Ukraine. It's his first foreign trip since becoming the UK Prime Minister last month. Ukraine has been asking Europe for long-range missiles to help defend itself from Russian attacks because Patriot missiles from the US are in short supply due to the war with Iran. A bit of encouraging news about mental health and young people. A new study suggests that psychological distress among Ontario teens has decreased since the pandemic. But as Tashana Reid tells us, it's still disturbingly high.
From across Canada, more young people in distress are reaching out for help at night.
Schools closed, their friends are asleep, their parents are asleep, and there's nobody else.
Kids Help Phone says they noticed a 24% increase in overnight texts in the first half of this year.
Predominantly, the number one issue is anxiety and stress.
But a new report on Ontario teens shows signs of progress. 10,000 students from grades 7 to 12 completed an anonymous online survey by the Centre for Addiction and Mental Health. 46% reported experiencing a moderate to serious level of psychological distress. In this case, a decrease.
So the numbers that we're seeing now in 2025 is more similar to the number that we saw in 2019, pre-pandemic.
Experts say that may reflect reduced stigma around seeking help. Still, psychological distress levels are nearly double what they were more than a decade ago, well before the pandemic.
Doom scrolling is becoming such an increasingly large problem in young people.
Hannah Grover says isolation during the pandemic had an impact, but she had family support, and journaling and poetry helped her cope.
What started as my own love for poetry.
It inspired her to create a youth-led program to help others.
That feeling of anxiety and helplessness, it's very difficult to transition out of it if you don't have accessible support or a loved one to speak to.
Some sources of stress are growing. CAMH found a 10-fold rise in online sports betting since 2017. Kids Help Phone says other concerns range from forest fires and social media to their very futures.
And that's why we all have to work together to ensure that they have the support that they need.
The CAMH survey also showed an increase in young people accessing mental health services at school. Tashana Reid, CBC News, Toronto.
Canada's main stock index finished in positive territory Monday as the U.S. imposed 50% tariffs on roughly $28 billion worth of Canadian goods. Here's a look at the numbers as we head to break. And we're back to wrap things up, and it sounds like that active weather isn't quite done yet.
It isn't, and we have some pretty active storms, especially across northern Nova Scotia, where there still are severe thunderstorm watches in effect, but these storms are putting down a whole lot of rain in localized areas. So thankfully we had this watch box that Environment Canada had issued earlier this afternoon. It was encompassing much of mainland Nova Scotia. Now it's confined to northern Nova Scotia, but here are some of the storms, and you can see they're spotty in nature compared to just a lot of the real estate around it. They're just really confined to some areas, but they are putting down a lot of rain in localized areas. The humidity is high, so are the temperatures, and they're seeing more of these scattered showers continuing to develop off towards the southwest. But we're getting a little bit of a lull, at least in the mainland, but there's still a lot of moisture coming up for the eastern mainland through to Cape Breton, where we saw so much rain over the last 3 days. Some of the rainfall totals there are very impressive, anywhere from 90 to 150. That's where some of the rainfall totals across Cape Breton. I was just checking out some of the reporting stations. So at least we got a little bit of a break with drying out conditions, but we still hold those chances for showers, thunderstorms in the evening forecast. Tomorrow morning is going to start off fairly cloudy with some fog patches, maybe even some fog and drizzle as well. We should see some clearing mid-morning and into the afternoon, but still holding on to a chance of showers in the afternoon. And the same is true for Wednesday. Things will be settling out, not expecting the big thunderstorms, but can't rule out an isolated shower in the afternoon. And then on Thursday, slightly cooler, slightly drier comes into play, and temperatures will be in the upper 20s for highs with plenty in the way of sunshine.
That sounds nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, scorching hot days have men in Japan going beyond just a summer haircut. Many are trying to get rid of body hair as they seek relief from the stifling heat. Grooming clinics like this one say they're seeing very high demand, making it harder for clients to book a slot for hair removal sessions. The country is also seeing a trend of more men wearing shorts that was once considered appropriate only for children or for the beach. Kokushobi is an official term Japan introduced this year. For days when the mercury tops 40 degrees Celsius, it means a cruelly hot day. There you go. Well, that is it for us tonight. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.